Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. So, I guess I have decided somewhat to review this show, but I am not going to necessarily review episode by episode. I want to talk about the so-called drama that has already unfolded on the show. Hey, T Pretty. Yeah, aw, gotta love the supporters, man. Gotta love my crew. They like, look, I don't even watch this show. I'm here to support you. Hey, Trina. Hope all is well. T Pretty and Trina. The T's are in the building. The T's are in the building. So I don't really know what to make of this season yet, child. I totally forgot that Kenya was on this season and that drama that she got into it with I think the Brit girl is who she got into it with that caused her to be allegedly kicked off the show. Child, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I was like, wait, what is Kenya doing on here? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. She was actually on the show and got booted off. But I want to talk about this drama between Porsha and Drew. And I also want to talk about this so-called friendship between Shamea and Porsha. I have said from the beginning, especially after that drama with the lies, and Candy in that season with Phaedra and Porsha, that Porsha is not a real friend to Shamea. But for whatever reason, Shamea wants to hold this girl down for whatever reason. And if you can't see at this point, this is a frenemy of yours. And in my personal opinion, Porsha is somewhat jealous of Shamea because let's be clear. Porsha may be the queen of the Real Housewives of Atlanta for this season, but Shamea is the queen of her household in her husband's world. The type of life that Porsha wanted. Baby, that Sterling Hall or whatever, that house that she has is immaculate. That house, I said, oh my gosh, like that house is absolutely amazing. You know you got money, baby, when you got elevators up in your house. All right. The kitchen looked like a chef's kitchen. It is out of this world. You can't tell me that Porsha don't want that life. You can't tell me that's why she allegedly took somebody's man thinking she was about to get that life, and she was sadly mistaken. See, Shamea seems like her stuff is together. She got her girls. I love the story of where it's going as far as her having a surrogate and how her surrogate ended up getting breast cancer in the process of carrying Shamea's girl, which is just absolutely like mind-boggling to me. Can you imagine all of the stuff that you go through in a pregnancy and you're fighting that as well? That was just insane to me. But by the grace of God, she's still here. But you can't tell me that. So much so, some of the highlights from the first episode, first things first, I think the new girls, Kelly, I think it's Britt, if I'm not mistaken, Kelly, Britt, and Angela. I actually think that they make good additions so far on the show. When I tell you StreamYard is about that BS, you see how I just got kicked out and came back on? I'm telling you, it ain't even cute. Can y'all hear me? Testing, testing. But yeah, her closet, absolutely insane, especially the little upstairs little section that she had where all the girls was sitting with the pink sofas. Everything was beautiful. Like everything was absolutely beautiful. Make sure you guys hear, if you guys can hear. Okay, perfect, you can hear me. So yeah, so with that being said, a couple of things from the first episode is Kelly straight went in. Okay, Kelly is the one who has the chicken and waffle place, and that's very successful. She just straight up said, why she take that man's husband? Talking about Porsha. She just said, forget the elephant in the room, baby. It is what it is. I'm gonna ask that question. So I feel like Kelly and Britt and Angela are going to make a great addition to the show. At least I hope so. I don't get my hopes up anymore with these shows because it seems like, Yeah, after a couple episodes, it goes downhill. But yeah, I feel like they make a great addition. But what I did not like is, of course, Shamea's birthday party and how that is her moment. And when she got her Rolls Royce, guess who wanted to walk in late and in that moment? Porsha. You're not going to be able to convince me it wasn't on purpose. I definitely believe it was on purpose. And I don't even think it was a production thing. I think it was a Porsha thing, period. And yes, Trina, I was literally about to say the same thing. She is a friend to no one. So I find it interesting that in the second episode at the end, she's crying and she was like, who is ever going to have my back? Portia's, whose back have you ever had, including Shamea's? We know. I haven't forgotten about how Phaedra was talking mess about Shamea when it came to Candy and Todd, or allegedly that stuff that was going on. And this was even on camera, and Porsha said nothing to Phaedra. That's your best friend, and she put your best friend out there like that with cameras involved, and you say nothing? Shamea, I think Shamea knows what's up. Y'all let me know in the chat. Do you feel like Shamea knows that Porsha is not a friend? I don't know if she is just hanging on to, because that's one thing she kept saying. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Baby, best friends like that, who needs enemies? Who needs enemies? Like, to me, I wouldn't even be comfortable, even with after she did to you. I wouldn't even be comfortable dealing with a woman and calling her my best friend when she took this woman's husband. Now, Porsha, to me, has never, in my opinion, fully explained what happened in that situation. Everybody has been saying, and what I've seen, the same thing. She was trifling as hell for doing what she did to that lady, period. And she claimed that she was also a friend at one point too. So for me, I'm all about my moral compass and integrity. And if I had a friend like that, or a best friend like that, who had no problem taking someone else's husband, I got to side eye you. Because what makes me think you wouldn't do it to me? If you're truly about women and you have morals and integrity, you wouldn't even go there. So that would mean that I would need to keep my distance from you. In fact, I have had a situation like that, and me and her no longer talk, because I will always have to side eye you at that point because of how you get down. So don't think. I mean, I don't see it, but I just feel like Shamea knows what's up, and so Shamea is just going through the motions of trying to do the fake loyalty, especially for the cameras. She even made a comment about Porsha coming in late. I think she's very aware of who Porsha is. I don't know if she just fully doesn't want to admit it, or because Porsha is considered the queen bee right now of Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's not trying to go down that road of being Porsha's enemy. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. But also what came out was, I believe it was Britt claiming that she had heard that Drew and Dennis were dating. Okay. And so, literally, for those, I'm sure you guys know, Dennis is Porsha's baby daddy. And so that became a big thing also. So, of course, at Shamea's birthday party, they go upstairs, and Shamea, of all people, is the main one who said, look, are you sleeping with Dennis? And put it out there like, look, what's going on? Like, what, you've been around him or whatever the case may be. Now, one thing about Drew that I can't stand, hey, Leo. One thing about Drew that I can't stand is so perfect that she has on that damn platinum blonde wig. She always wants to give dumb blonde moments to me. And I don't think she's dumb at all. I think she likes to play that role very well so she could try to look innocent and definitely don't look like the aggressor. And to a certain extent, she wasn't the aggressor, but I think she was very passive aggressive, in my opinion, in that situation. And mind you, I'm not Team Porsha or Team Drew, but we gonna talk about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. But make sure you hit the like button on the way in. But that whole situation about Dennis and Drew, and she was like, "What? No, like we're it's business. We're working together, or whatever the case may be." But baby, when she said Dennis has been like my angel here on earth, and I said, did she really just say Dennis is like my angel here on earth? Did that really just come out of her mouth? How do you think? I don't care if it's Porsha or not. I don't care if you say this is her karma or not. How do you feel that another woman that's right in front of you literally that is her baby daddy? She has had her issues with that man or whatever the case may be. Y'all apparently are supposed to be at least cordial and decent with each other. And you saying her baby daddy is like her angel on earth. And I was just like, awkward. And I'm like, you not gonna be able to tell me you didn't know that was gonna trigger something. Because what if somebody said that your freaking husband was like their angel here on earth? And even if you guys are going through a divorce, the whole point is that it's going to sting. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, girl, don't she was looking like, what? I am so shocked about the hostility. And I'm thinking, like, girl, you was saying some very passive aggressive stuff that will truly make somebody literally go off on your ass. Even her friend Angela, who's a fellow Chicagoan, was like, that does not sound right. That does not sound right. What the hell are you doing, right? I decided to check this out. I haven't watched this in years, but I have seen people talk about Porsha's situation. Yeah, I haven't. The last time I watched it, I was pissed off because I was like, what is this? That was with Marlo being on there. Is Drew scared of Porsha? I don't think Drew is scared of Porsha. I think she likes to play the damsel in distress. I think she likes to play that whole dumb blonde situation. I think that's an act for her. Mind you, Drew is an actor. And she's not a bad actor. She can act. So this is why I can never take her seriously on when she's actually being genuine or not. And in this situation, I truly feel, but this is my opinion. If y'all are Team Drew, by all means, let me know. Some may be Team Drew just simply because of how Porsha allegedly got down with, her current husband that she's trying to divorce and how she got him. So they like, this is Team Karma and they can't feel bad for Porsha. But for me, in this situation, I could see how somebody would get triggered by what Drew said, saying that is, her, angel on earth. So my thing is, I don't think she's scared. I think she was saying those things to trigger her and to really get things going, in my personal opinion. I never liked Drew because she messed around with Duran on the game. I think people still mad at her over that. I feel like Drew was trying to be passive aggressive. Something happened between her and Porsha. I feel like her words were carefully calculated. Right. And the fact that she was like, girl, are you serious? Like, she was just trying to make it seem like it was just something just straight out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Hey, Shayla, what's up? She's an actress. Yes, they are editing out Kenya. Kenya looks like just an extra on the show at this point, or a friend of the show. That's exactly what she looks like at this point. Porsha did all that big talk to deflect from the original question, why she still. Now that's true too. Yes, that is true, Kim, because the reality is, remember, that conversation was supposed to start with what Kelly said about her taking someone's husband. So that's why I'm saying, like, I wanted to get my side with Drew first, because Drew to me was being very passive aggressive. But remember, initially, they went upstairs to talk about what Kelly said. Because Kelly said, why she take that girl's husband? So they were going to talk about that upstairs, because they was first talking about it downstairs. But Shamea was like, let's take it upstairs. So to literally have that happen, but who was the one who saved Porsha in that situation? Who was the one who saved Porsha in the situation? Because wasn't it Shamea who brought up Drew? So to me, it was Drew. It was Shamea trying to deflect to get the pressure off of Porsha to put it on Drew. And this is what I'm saying, her being super saver hoe. She being super saver hoe to freaking Porsha, when the reality is Porsha, in my opinion, wouldn't do the same for Shamea. She wouldn't do the same for Shamea. She would let Shamea literally hang. And literally whatever darts are thrown at her, in my opinion, she would let Shamea have them. So this is what I'm saying. Stop doing for others, though, especially if they won't do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? You know, like don't sit up there and put yourself out there to protect someone who damn sure has proven that she doesn't protect you. So I don't know. Now what's interesting is, Leo, since you mentioned, is Drew scared of Porsha? My question is Shamea scared of Porsha? That's to me, what is it, and what is it gonna have to take for Shamea to realize that Porsha is not her friend? So unless Porsha is the reason why Shamea is literally like a main cast and has a peach now on this show, I don't see the loyalty or the reason for the loyalty at this point. Like, I don't. Because truthfully, based on what it looks like with Shamea don't need this show. And by the way, I'm loving the fact that the new girls, Britt, Kelly, and Angela, seem to be all self-made women without their men. Their men add to what they already had going on. I love that. I love the fact that they're self-made women. So hopefully this will be a very interesting season, especially with Kelly's storyline, with, of course, her ex-husband, and then also with Britt and the situation with Kenya. Let me see. This is random, but Cynthia is so boring to me. That's why she is she's a guest on the show at this point. I bet Kenya said more on Porsha, but it was probably edited out. Possibly. Yeah, exactly. Shamea sat up there and did the freaking alley-oop type situation and was like, okay, let's put the darts back on her. I find that to be insanity, because Porsha, in my opinion, wouldn't do the same. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Porsha and Shamea will have a falling out this time. I'm curious how this will turn out, because she already showed up late. I want them to have, look, here's the thing. If this was a genuine friendship, mind you, they have known each other since they were kids. But I have had somebody who I thought was a friend since we were kids, and literally through the time of me growing and knowing who I was, and in the process of seeing all of the signs, she was always a friend of me. And I think this is the case when it comes to Shamea and Porsha. I feel like Porsha was always a friend of me, or Porsha was always that girl that she was only a friend when it was convenient for her. And the moment that Shamea was able to shine above, even on the same level as Porsha, but shine above Porsha, especially now that she got this man with this wealth and everything else. Yeah, I think Porsha ain't feeling it. Portia's not feeling it. And again, you got to be mindful when you start doing better than others and they got an issue with it. That tells you a lot. Porsha and Shamea, yeah. Good question, Chris. Shamea could be scared of her. Interesting thought. Yeah, it's something. Because I just don't understand how, after that season with Phaedra and Porsha, and how Phaedra sat up there and said what she said about Shamea, a girl that she has known since they were kids, while she only knows Phaedra apparently through that show, how you even think that is your friend. Shamea, she's not your friend. Porsha sat there and let Phaedra talk. Exactly. It's misplaced loyalty there. Okay. Well, I've definitely been in that situation before. Put a 1 in the chat if you've had misplaced loyalty before. Because when people are naturally loyal, we can be loyal to a fault, meaning that even though that person we know damn well ain't no good, ain't a friend, or ain't this and ain't that, we still try to stay loyal because that's the way, you know what I'm saying, we are with people. Because we expect for people to be that way with us. But I think we've all, especially people who are loyal people, have had misplaced loyalty. But she's starting to look like a fool, because the problem is you can have misplaced loyalty when it's behind closed doors, but misplaced loyalty when you on national TV is a whole different beast. Hey, Denise, hope all is well, boo. How you doing? But yeah, definitely. Angela's husband said the girls were lame. He seems like he doesn't want to do the show. He said the girls were lame. You talking about Oakley? I can believe it though. I was laughing though when he was telling her she need to fix that glue on her wig. Like he was like that's lifting. You need to go to the bathroom and fix that. That was hilarious. But I also love their story that they had met, I think she said over a decade ago, and then they ended up being in the same condominium and then ended up rekindling, I guess, whatever, and ended up getting married. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, we have all been there at misplaced loyalty. We have. Yep, Charles ain't for it. Right. We've all been there, I think, but I don't understand it. The question is though, do you think this beef between Drew and Porsha is a genuine beef? Because Porsha's explanation in the situation was, hey Denise, Porsha's explanation in the situation was that she says she's a fake, she's a fraud, she's a liar, she's a despicable human being because she said that, and she even said to production, can I break the fourth wall? She was like, can I break it? And they was like, go for it. She was like, you've been going behind my back trying to film with Dennis. And so she's pretty much upset about that because she said, you know, I have supported you. You have been, you know what I'm saying, an ambassador for my hair, Caroline, or whatever the case may be. And then she was like, and then you try to, you know, actually film with my baby daddy, and then at the same time was trying to do a photo shoot for my hair care line. Like, who are you to do a photo shoot for my hair care line? Now, the thing about the hair care line situation, I was a little confused by that because if she was trying to do an actual photo shoot for your hair care line on TV, wouldn't that help you? I was like, if she was trying to use that as a storyline, doesn't that help you? Doesn't that help you make money? So I was a little confused on that she was trying to use that as a reason, but okay, girl. But yeah, but the whole situation about how Dennis is trying to, or Drew is trying to film with Dennis. Let me see. Oakley looks like an angry black man. That just may be his personality. Maybe. Thankful that God gave me at least one good friend in life. 24 years, my best friend. May he continue to rest in peace. All these women on these shows do is fight and stab each other in the back. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, T Pretty. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to deal with, especially when you have a good, genuine friend who, you know what I'm saying, is just always supportive, not shady and stuff like that. That's hard. That's hard. Praying for you. Shayla, don't he though? Those great twists. Porsche is delusional. I used to like her, but she's so self-absorbed. She is. She is. But honestly, we saw the signs of that even when, for example, let's just talk about it. Remember her first season and Kenya had the bullhorn out and she ended up putting her hands and pulling Kenya's hair and stuff like that. Remember when that happened? And she starts having a tantrum on the floor, talking about she completely embarrassed herself and started crying. To me, that was a moment of being self-absorbed too, in my opinion. Because I'm like, look, at that point where you get so mad where you gonna put your hands on somebody and pull their hair and everything else, baby, own up to it 10 times down, call her a bitch, say don't ever mess with me again, but to literally, I'm just embarrassed myself. I just embarrassed myself. I was like, girl, you already you playing the victim this soon? Like, true indeed, the bullhorn was a little excessive, but hell, Cynthia, if I'm not mistaken, was actually sitting in the middle of them. So if Cynthia wasn't tripping off of it, Porsha was just one of those people where she don't know how to use her words, so she likes to fight. That's just how she was, but she completely went into victim mode. So I feel like she's always been self-absorbed. We just are seeing it more now that more money and fame has been brought to her. One, I definitely have given people two. Yeah. And still to this day, this is definitely something that I still struggle with, and I still struggle with it just also for Christianity basis reasons too, because of course we're supposed to forgive. We're supposed to, you know what I'm saying, be loving or whatever the case may be, but you also have to protect your energy. And I have definitely been someone who have given too many chances or given people the benefit of the doubt, or as much as I feel like I need to cuss people out, I decide not to and just kind of like be done with them when honestly they deserve a cuss out. So yeah, I've been there. I've been there. But I truly think that God has also protected me, because as much as I could have gone truly the dark route to be a get back on people, I've taken the high road, and I think that's why God has protected me because of that. But Porsha calling someone low down is comical. Right. Right, right. I remember that fight. Ooh, that was when it was good. Right. And she was kicking the damn floor, crying, talk about how she embarrassed herself, honey, on freaking national TV after she sat up there and got up and pulled Kenya's hair. Okay. And I was just like, did she really just do that? Like, it was like she was having a temper tantrum on the floor. And so I was like, if that ain't a moment of being self-absorbed, I don't know what is. It was like it immediately she went into it being about her. You know what I'm saying? And how she was the victim in the situation. And to me, this is exactly what she did when it came to Drew. Now, granted, Drew was still wrong with, you know what I'm saying, how she was passive aggressively doing what she was doing. But at the same time, like Kim said, it's a valid point that what they initially went up there for in the first place. They initially went up there for the talk between Kelly and Porsha about Porsha taking someone else's husband. And then Shamea said, well, let's talk about Drew. Because the reality is, I don't want the heat on Porsha. And then that's when Porsha blew that mess up and was like, you're a low down, dirty individual. Which is interesting that it is coming from Porsha saying that and talking about Drew. Now, let me ask y'all this though. Do you feel Drew is wrong? Let's just say it's true that Drew is trying to film with Dennis on the show. Do you feel it's wrong? Do you feel it's wrong for Drew to try to film with Dennis on The Real Housewives of Atlanta? So, if you feel that is wrong, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like it's not wrong, put a 2 in the chat. Okay? So if it's wrong, put a 1 in the chat. If you know what I'm saying, like you pretty much saying it's wrong for her to film with Dennis, put a 1. If you feel like no, it ain't wrong, put a 2. Unpopular vote. I'm glad Kenya is in the background. Hey, a lot of people may feel that way. Okay, so you don't feel it's wrong, Trina. You don't feel it's wrong that she wants to film with Dennis. Which interesting enough, what can you expect to? Okay, Leo feels the same way too. What can you expect from someone who doesn't even child? When she said that shit, oh my God. When she said that, I really thought she was joking. Mind you, she's from Atlanta. And she comes from a civil rights leader who's her grandfather. I thought she was joking, but when she was so serious, I said, oh my gosh. She literally said, someone got to drive. She say something like, somebody got to drive the train. Someone got to bring the train through here. And I said, what? And I started laughing. I said, oh, that's hilarious. Like, yeah. Choo, choo, choo. Yeah, okay. And I said, oh my gosh, she was so serious. She was like, no, it was actually a railroad. It was a truck. Baby. Okay, so it's the twos. It's twos. Okay. So no one is saying 1. Drew needs a storyline because she can't film with Ralph down in the basement. She knows what she's doing. I was shocked he's in the music industry now. At last I remember he was a hot dog man. Right. I think he is whatever is going to make him money man. Like a lot of people in Atlanta who hustle and bustle trying to make ends meet. If you ask people in Atlanta what they do, they probably gonna tell you several different damn things at the same time. But apparently he is. I mean, he is from Detroit. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, definitely are tapped into the music, thing in Detroit. And a lot of them do end up going to Atlanta because Atlanta is still kind of like the music industry hub right now. But yeah, it's interesting that you guys are saying too. You're saying no, she's not wrong. And I let me ask you this: are you guys saying that also because of Porsha's dirty doings? You know what I'm saying? Because didn't she have a freaking show with her current husband that she's divorcing? Like, if that's not, you know what I'm saying, or did she have, I feel like she either had a show or she had him on this show. If that is not a slap in the face to his ex, I don't know what is. And she was there as his woman, not even just working with him. So is that the reason why you guys are like, no, there's nothing wrong with it? Because Porsha pretty much had, I think, what's his name? What's the damn guy's name? They calling him a scammer now. Apparently, wasn't he on one of the seasons as Portia's man? One season he was on there as the husband of the other woman, and then now he was literally on there either Portia's own show or on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I feel like they had a show. Didn't they have a show, you guys? Because I had checked out at that point, but I feel like her and that husband of hers did have a show. That's a definite slap in the face. Had Dennis and Simon on the show. Okay, so I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. So she had Simon on the show as her man. She had her own show for a season. Exactly. If that ain't low down, I don't know what is. Not only are you taking someone's husband, but now you have a freaking show where this girl literally has to see people talk about it consistently. And she still really isn't answering the question. Did you take him? I mean, and in my opinion, it seems like it's a definite yes. It seems like there was an overlap or it was a right after, definitely something. But you know, of course, Porsha, she has her stan fans who literally will protect her at all costs. You know, the stan culture is quite fascinating to me, and I truly think we need to start doing psychological studies on what social media does to people, because it's very hard for me to process that these people truly hold these reality show and celebrity, these reality show stars and celebrities, they hold them to just like this god status and feel like they need to protect them, even though these people don't even know who the hell they are and damn sure wouldn't even protect the people that are defending them, their fans. They don't even know them. They don't know their fans, and they won't do a damn thing when it comes to them damn fans. So I don't understand it. It seems like she's doing it to get her music out, but don't seem like she has interest in Dennis like that. I mean, who would? Dennis don't seem like a catch to me, but that's just my personal opinion. Drew probably wants to promote her music. She said her career has been popping the way she wants it to. She did. She said that, but I'm trying to figure out how Dennis is about to get it popping. Can Dennis even get himself popping? I would like to know his background on how he's going to really be able to take her music to the next level, unless he has just access to some great producers out there, and that's the reason why. Portia's Family Matter was named. Thank you, Shayla. She had Dennis and Simon on her show and tried to fight Dennis' mama. I remember hearing about that. I remember that. I bet had that situation not happened with Kenya, she definitely would be going in on Porsha about it. Right? That is true. I'm a fan of absolutely no one but Jesus Christ. Them people be crazy. You better say that again. You better say that again. Say it 50 times over, child. I had some trolls today, honey. I had some trolls today. The ghetto, exactly. The ghetto, honey. So yeah, so it's interesting. So yeah, everybody's like, nah, Drew has every right to sit up there and actually film with Dennis. And interesting enough, you know, we do see, so far, I am feeling Shamea's storyline and I'm feeling Kelly's storyline so far. Kelly and her relationship with her husband, her ex-husband, and how she said she deserved an Oscar, but how she was trying to hold it together when there was so much stuff going on. She seemed like she done went through. So it would be interesting to hear her story. And I love Shamea's story about how she's been trying to extend her family and how it's been difficult for her. And she ended up having the surrogate. Of course, I told you about what the surrogate went through while she was carrying Shamea's daughter. But she mentioned something about how people were saying that's what you get for not carrying your own baby. I cannot believe people are that evil and that much trolls where they would say something so heartless like that. I would have to say that for the most part, you're probably going to find people who are having surrogates because they just can't carry their own child. I am sure there are some superficial a-holes out there who are probably saying, I don't want to get fat, so I'm going to have a surrogate. But for the most part, especially women with motherly instincts, they would probably prefer to carry their own, and they simply can't. I cannot believe that Shamea got that, but just people are just so evil nowadays. I cannot be shocked about someone saying that to her. But when she goes to see her surrogate and they talk, it was a beautiful scene to me, especially between two Black women, understanding each other, I'm saying, pain or whatever the case may be. And even with her having that cancer in her body, she kind of almost implied that, maybe if I didn't have that in my body, your child may have not been born prematurely. And Shamea's like, don't even think like that. Like, that was a beautiful scene with them. I feel like Shamea is about to be a breakout star for this season. At least I hope so. I hope Shamea is about to be a breakout star for this season. And honestly, if her and Porsha do fall out, I am hoping that a lot of people are team Shamea, because it has been proven time and time again, Shamea has been a friend to Porsha, but Porsha is not a friend to Shamea. So I think that would be a very interesting tables have turned situation where Shamea now becomes the breakout star. And I would love that. I would absolutely love that. You know what I'm saying? She has the full package right now, and she's still vulnerable, and she still shows that she is human. And what she's going through, even with her having the house, the husband, she still has her emotions about wanting to extend her family and, having her child who is special needs. Let me see. Britt and her husband is kind of giving Greg and hearing her from Potomac for me. I don't even watch Potomac like that, but we'll definitely have to see, because like I said, I only watched maybe the first two seasons, maybe the first season only. I can't remember. I only started talking about it again because Miss Concubine, Thomas Jefferson's concubine, went to jail. Britt is superficial, wanting a surrogate just to determine of the baby. Oh, see. Did she talk about that in this episode? Did she talk about in this episode? Because I feel like she talked about how she is going to get pregnant this year. I thought that when her mother was talking, she was like, I'm going to get pregnant. Her husband was like, we'll see. We'll see. So I don't remember, but then again, maybe I just skipped that one, but I don't remember her talking about how she wanted to have a surrogate. I thought she was saying she actually wanted to have the baby and she was going to get pregnant, but maybe, child, I missed that part. I feel like Britt is a good addition, but I feel like, again, the standout right now is Kelly and Shamea. And of course, honey, when Drew and Angela go to work out or whatever, Shamea comes, and Angela and Shamea kind of get into it. But at the same time, Drew said, Shamea is Portia's lapdog, and I have to agree with that. Sorry. Sorry, you coming off like her lapdog. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not a mutual beneficial friendship here. It seems like they are centering the show around Shamea. That, you see what I'm saying? Because let's be clear. Even though the actual show started off with she and Porsha, they are giving a lot of time to Shamea. They're giving a lot of time to Shamea, and I'm here for it. I am here for it 50 times over. Like I said, Porsha may be, because right now it is safe to assume that Porsha is the highest earning housewife on Atlanta for this season. She definitely has to be. She has the longevity. She has the fame. She is. However, at the end of the day, we already know, especially sometimes when it comes to production, they ain't got no problem turning the tables on people. Look at Nene Leakes. Okay, now even though Nene, a lot of people will say she brought that on herself, at the end of the day, she was the Real Housewives of Atlanta for years. And then here it is now. She hasn't been on that show for years. Don't think they won't do the same. Same thing with Kenya. Kenya is now no longer on the show. So, you know what I'm saying? I could definitely see it. I could definitely see it, which is going to cause an issue. You know what this kind of reminds me of? You know what this kind of reminds me of? As much as, you know what I'm saying, this is my girl, I don't think it's going to be as bad, though, because I feel like this Shamea and Porsha situation kind of reminds me of Mariah and Quad. Now, I love Mariah. I feel like Quad she's over dramatic and she likes to play the victim. But one thing I will say is I do slightly feel, even though this could have been production in the background, I slightly felt that Mariah was feeling like Quad was trying to take over her show, or they was trying to put Quad as the star of the show that Mariah started. And that's where a lot of tension really started. So for me, this kind of reminds me of that. You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminds me of that. Not too much though, because I feel like Quad took it just a little too, she took it too far. But I do kind of feel like that. Y'all let me know if y'all think that kind of feels like the same thing. They're going to fall out before the season is over. Now, interesting enough, that will make me tune into the show. If they're really about to fall out, it will make me tune in. Y'all saw that House of Shamea. They said Simon put some kind of order out where Porsha can't film in the house. Oh, in her house, right? The house that they both share. Not reminds me of the Bad Girls Club. Hey, Christopher, not the Bad Girls Club. You know, I will say some of the Bravo shows are becoming very Zeus-ish to a certain extent, but at the same time, yeah, I hope not. But yeah, but Shamea being Portia's lapdog, yes, I would have to absolutely agree with that. I would. I really think that Shamea needs to just accept the fact that she needs to move on from Porsha. Porsha only cares about Porsha. So that crying that she decided to walk away when Dennis and her was with Pilar, and how she walked away crying like, whoever has my back, and I'm going through so much with the divorce, and then now you want to film and all of this stuff, and like, whoever has my back. I'm like, girl, you don't deserve for anyone to have your back, because you don't have anyone's back. You know what I'm saying? She got that contract before she filed for divorce. Simon threw a wrench in her plan. She thought she was going to be showing off that house, but Simon said, no, it's his house. Didn't she claim that they have mutual ownership of the house? Didn't she claim that? Hell, isn't Simon in custody at this point? Didn't ICE get him? Why do I feel like I heard that just recently, that ICE got his ass? I feel like I heard that. Am I tripping? Didn't ICE get him? So child, that whole situation is a mess. And again, the fallout and the effect of what's going on with her. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you lose them how you got them. Like, I mean, that's the saying, right? You lose them how you got them. Like, it's your turn. It's definitely shady and trifling how you obtain that man, and now things are falling apart. So I don't know what you want any of us to tell you. Yes, Leo, that's why she started starting the season outside. Didn't one of the OG housewives say Shamea was Porsha lapdog when she was first introduced? Possibly. I know Drew said it. And I have to agree with it. Yep, he's supposedly detained. Rumor has it, they said allegedly, they said Porsha did it. Now, I don't know how true that is. That's why I said allegedly, but they people was trying to say Porsha the one who called ICE on his ass. She gave her house to her mom. He's suing her to get her out of his house. He's in custody. Interesting. He's suing her, and then all of a sudden he get detained, huh? Child, I tell you. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to talk about this. It seems to me, though, in my live chat, everyone seems to be Team Drew in this particular argument. The argument that they had, everyone seems to be Team Drew, and everyone seems to be Team Drew on she should be able to film with Dennis. Point blank, period. As passive aggressive that Drew was, because again, I feel like she was very passive aggressive. At the end of the day, To me, it seems like control for Porsha is more about a control situation for her than anything else. She wants to be able to control the narrative on the show because in her mind, she feels like it's her show. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, when people start to become the number one on the call sheet with these shows, they truly start to think that the show is theirs. Like they're not an ensemble cast. They truly feel like they are the head biatch in charge. And I think that's Portia's mentality right now. I am the top dog in this, and I'm trying to control every narrative I can control because it's already bad enough that I'm being scrutinized because of my current husband situation that already started on a cracked foundation. So I think she's trying to control the situation, and because of that, that's why I can see why people are saying their team drew in this situation. Either either way, both of them, in my opinion, on how they handled this situation, it made for good TV. But again, we do know that Porsha deflected, and we also know that Drew was acting because, in my opinion, she already knew what was going to trigger Porsha. She knew what was going to come out. Who says that? Can you imagine somebody that you really cool with making a comment that your baby daddy is their angel on earth? He has been my angel on earth. There is no way. Well, now Shamea is the top dog so far. Money wise, and number one on the call sheet, it seems like it's Porsha. Money wise, and number one on the call sheet, but it to me seems like both Porsha and Shamea are driving the narratives on this show. Now that Kenya is gone, they are both driving the storylines. You know what I mean? They're driving the storylines. And what would make for good TV, if you guys are saying that, I don't know, because I didn't see the trailer. What would make for good TV if they do have a falling out, then it's going to be the girls taking sides, which honestly, I feel like all day, every day, Kelly and Britt and Drew and Angela will probably take Shamea's side. It would be all of the girls versus Porsha. And then that'll be another reason for Porsha to play victim. But I think that would be the case. But this is interesting so far. I'm not gonna say I'm excited because I'm not, because I have had situations before, especially with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, just like Married to Medicine. You think it's gonna be good, then the next thing you know, it turns into straight BS. So we'll have to see. We will definitely have to see in this situation. But yeah, you guys, so let's continue the conversation about this as far as Porsha and Shamea, Drew and Porsha. What do you guys think about this? Because I think it's what this show may give this season is everybody versus Porsha, or Porsha versus everybody. I don't know. I don't know who's going to drive the conflict like that. But I will be here if a Shamea and Porsha beef starts. Again, maybe I would feel bad if I felt like it was a genuine friendship, but I don't think it's ever been a genuine friendship. And I think TV just put a highlight on what never was in the first place. They were never genuine friends. And I think Porsha kept Shamea around because she could feel better about herself, because at one point, maybe Shamea was on the lower part of the totem pole in a situation. Shamea didn't have a man. She had her football player. Shamea didn't have this. She had this. Shamea wasn't on the show. She was on the show. Now that Shamea has come up in the world and she got her man who's clearly a multi-millionaire buying her Rolls Royces. She got her family, and now she got a peach. Please. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yes, I can definitely see the conflict coming very soon. If there will be beef, go live immediately. Right. That will definitely be the moment that we will definitely have to talk. Bye. I'm about to get you and your freaking food, Shayla. But yeah, so with that being said, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue the conversation. And whose side are you on in this? So again, I will see you on my next video. Toodles.